this in detail here because I'm going to be covering that earlier on in the video. So just to let you know, these are magic squares, and each planet has a magic square assigned to it. The sun, the moon, the earth, all the planets have a magic square assigned to it, whether it's 3 by 3 or 4 by 4. And I'll use the most basic magic square here to give you an idea of how these steps work. Now, as we went over before, the magic square is made by putting a number, starting a number somewhere and going north and east and putting the second number. Now I have to go north and east again, but in order to do that I have to visualize in my mind this paper falling this way and this paper falling this way. In other words, this is a one-dimensional piece of paper, and I divided it just like that. In order to complete this magic square, I have to visualize this being turned over this way. So I go up and 1, and it'd be 3. Then I have to visualize it folding over this way. So I have to go up and over 1, and it would be 4. So I have to drop down 1. Go up and over, and that would be 5. Up and over, that'd be 6. Up and over, that'd be 7. So I visualize the paper falling this way, go up and over, and you can't go that way, so it's 8. Up and over 9. Can't see that, up 16, 15, 14. One of the numbers is transposed wrong because all these numbers are supposed to add up the same, this way, and every row is supposed to add up the same. And it's a little bit tricky, but anybody can do it once you actually do it, especially if you do it with a piece of paper and have it folded. Benjamin Franklin claimed to be the most magical magicians, and he came up with a 16 by 16 magic square. And you can even find books today that talk about only the most advanced of magicians can do these magic squares because it's so complex. And it's not complex. There's a secret to it like any other magical trick. And the simple trick in making these magic squares is going northeast. And that's the purpose of the magic squares. They would have each magic square also has a planet assigned to it, a musical note assigned to it, a color, a medal, just about everything. Each magic square has all our applications to it. Like they would take a magic square, and if its medal is silver, they would inscribe the appropriate magic square on that medal. And they would use this to open up doorways to the underworld, and therefore whoever came up was pretty much going to be doing the bidding of the master who conjured him up. So magic squares were big, and they started out in Babylon. And the first magic square is a 3 by 3 because a 1 square is perfect. And a 2 by 2 square is called the devil square because 2 is the first opposition. And so the 2 by 2 square has no magical quantities or qualities per se as far as magic squares go. But it is probably the most important square it is. But it's called the devil square. That's a 2 by 2. So we'll get to the basics as far as what the steps were. This right here was a 2 by 2 square. Okay. And this was called the donation from the corporation. Donation from the corporation. A lot of people right now are saying that the government has become a corporation. Well, it's been a corporation since the beginning. It's called itself a corporation for some time now. And they actually donated this 2 by 2 square. Now this is a 2 by 2. This is called the devil's square, as you'll find out why here shortly. Okay, so that's one lever. Now, thing is, this extended out like this because Thomas Jefferson made it a law Indiana territories, or Northwest territories, had to be divided up into 6 by 6 magic squares. Bring it on down, that way we can be somewhat correct. So, Thomas Jefferson had the Northwest, or the Indiana territories as it was called, laid out into 6 by 6, 6 mile by 6 mile square. Indiana is 36,000 square miles. And that's because everything in Indiana and the other Indiana territories was laid out in a 6 by 6 sun square. And that was the foundation, was the 6 by 6 sun square. The interesting thing about the 6 by 6 sun square is that its sum equals 666. And that is the foundation of the kingdom of the beast. The image that I showed you, that is bad enough. But they actually had to lay the foundation to open up the doorway in the lower realm into the upper realm and even into the heavens, to put as the foundation for this graven image. So now you can see the consequences of what's going on, what's advancing into that realm. At any rate, this was a 6 by 6 square, and in the northeast corner, they had the 2 by 2. And this is 6 by 6. So you have the 6 by 6 and the 2 by 2. I think you can see all of that to the edge of the board so I can remember. But at any rate, I want to show you this is the 6 by 6 square. And then this is the 2 mile square that was donated by the corporation, or what we call today Washington. So you have right there your first 2 steps, because at this point here, that's the end of the square. Now the interesting thing here, this 2 by 2 square, is interesting because the Babylonians used the 2 by 2 square as the foundation for their tablet of destiny, also called the Philosopher's Stone, because it was a clay tablet that was designed, that was laid out in mathematical formula, to where the center, you could, by mathematics, make a 1 mile square out of the center. And so this was called the Tablet of Destiny. It was a Babylonian 13-house horoscope. And it looked like this. I'm going to try to get this somewhat looking right, so you can see how it's supposed to look. Okay, this right here was how the Babylonians took a 2 by 2 square and could find a 1 mile square directly in the center of it, and these clay tablets look like this. Was what they call the Tablets of Destiny. Now they put your name here, and the date and time he was born, location, and then where the planets were in these 12 houses would determine the destiny. So the house, the place of the god, was always this center square. Okay. So this 2 by 2 square is made into a Babylonian tablet of destiny. You hear about manifesting destiny and all this. This is because the foundation of their kingdom is built on a tablet of destiny. And the Statue of Liberty is holding a tablet of destiny. So this is what a tablet of destiny is. And remember, this is the place where you put whoever's being born. This is the birth chart. It was also called birth charts.